Welcome, Coach Prosser. Welcome, Kelton.
How are y'all doing today?
Thank you.
Doing well. So we are going to get started here. We have the 11 to 11:15 time block. We'll get started with opening statements from Coach, followed by Kelton. While they're making their opening statements, if you are a member of the media, if you want to put your name in the chat, like we've been doing, then I will be sure to call on you for your question after the opening statements. Coach, if you want to get us started with including your thoughts on this year's squad, the outlook in the preseason practice up to this point, how's it look so far?
Yeah, well, first, we appreciate y'all being here and spending time and promoting Big South basketball. I think in the last several years, I think the Big South has done an unbelievable job putting itself, on a national landscape and the respect level that the Big South is gaining for itself. The players, the coaches in this league has been really fun to watch and be a part of. And so appreciate y'all spending the time this morning to prioritize that with us. As far as we're concerned, I think like everybody else, I think we're anxious, right? I think everybody feels, going in, there's a little bit of that nervous energy, right? Of are we prepared? Have we done all the right things and preparing our team? But feeling very, very comfortable and confident in what we have, and we're no different. I think we have a good group of experienced players within our program back. I think we don't take it for granted that we have 4 double-figure scorers that are back on our team, and I don't know that how often that's happening in this day and age. I don't know how many teams in the country have 4 double-figure scorers that came back with eligibility. Obviously including Kelton, who's one of the most efficient players in the country, certainly in the history of our program, and we don't take that lightly. And so to have those guys back and be intentional and thoughtful and surrounding with them with recruits and returners that continue to lead them in situations to be successful and maybe even more successful. That was our challenge and that was our charge in the off season, and we feel like we've done that. And it's just been a lot of fun. We have a really good group of kids. We've had the opportunity after several months starting in summer school. We've had one scrimmage, so having the opportunity to see a different color jersey was sort of nice. And for guys like KT and guys that have been around and in their senior year, and that the sort of the dog days of October and November are we're sort of in the middle of right now, but anxious to get going, anxious to start and watch these guys and be part of their for some of them like KT, their last go around. And it'll be a great challenge for us. Our expectations are, our goals every year don't change. We understand that when you have that jersey on that you're looking at, that we expect to win and hang banners and win championships. That hasn't changed. So that will always be our goal. That will always be, anything short of that will be a disappointment. And so we're anxious to get back to that and sort of work to the way that last season ended, to work to get that sort of negative taste out of our mouth, for lack of a better way to put it. So we're anxious. We appreciate you guys doing this. I don't know if KT wants to add anything. He's better at this stuff than I am, but yeah, that's where we are.
Yeah. I'd say more so excited than anything coming in. Just knowing the returners that we do have, and we've been around each other for a while now, so just having that chemistry with them, and then on top of that, adding a lot of key pieces, getting Isaiah Wilson back, that's been on injury. I think it's more so it's excitement, because of the body of work that we're putting in, and we're just ready to showcase that and be able to see a different color jersey other than our own going against every day. So yeah, I think that's really much it for me. Like, just being able to play against somebody that's not my teammate at this point, to just to see how far the work has gotten us, and just the chemistry that we've built over the last couple of months, and just going at it in practice.
Awesome. Thank you both for that. I think we have a couple of questions queued up here. We'll start with John.
Morning, guys. I have one for each of you. For Coach, I believe that before becoming a D1 head coach, you spent 6 years as an assistant to Pat at Winthrop. and you're going to face your old boss when you travel to Louisville next month. My question, is it just another game on the calendar, or is this something you've been looking forward to for all summer or something else?
Yeah, I think obviously when we scheduled that game, we knew there was going to be a lot of interest and a lot of energy around that. I've known Kel since he was my visit host when my father was the head coach at Xavier University in like 1997. He visited my visit there, which, let's be honest, I wasn't nearly good enough to play there, but yeah, when I visited there, he was my host, and obviously spending 6 years with him on staff, and winning championships together, and obviously we go back a long ways, and so it's going to be a lot of fun, and something that I've said it a couple of times, since the game got scheduled, it hadn't had a way to work out, right? When we were at Western and he was at Winthrop, and when we were at Winthrop and they were at Charleston, and for the dates and things like that to work out this year. And there's a lot of familiarity, KT, and obviously with us, with their staff, and, a lot of us on our staff and their staff work together. And so it's going to be a lot of fun, and we look forward to it, and hopefully they do as well. But it's going to be a dogfight, right? They expect to win. We wouldn't sign a contract with anybody. We don't put that jersey on that he has on, for any games unless we expect to win. So we're going to go. We have no intention of going up there and having a party or a reunion or anything like that. It's going to be a lot of fun. That ball's going to go in the air, and it's going to be a dogfight for 2 hours. And like always, we expect to win that game. And but it's going to be a great college basketball game, and it'll be a lot of fun before. It'll be a lot of fun after. But for those 2 hours, it'll be a dogfight, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
And for Kelton, your 64.8 field goal percent for your career is 13th best of any D1 player over the past 3 decades, ahead of guys like Obi Toppin and Carlos Boozer. What is the secret to being an amazing shooter?
I just say, me personally, I'm gonna go with footwork. I'm gonna pin it all on footwork. And just my teammates being able to find me when I'm open. Just being able to use my pivots, and just get around bigger guys, because I'm typically the smaller one out of the 5 matchup, and just using that to my advantage. Just pivots and just being able to run the floor and use my motor to get ahead of guys, and just constantly do that for 40 minutes the best I can, and that plays a major part in it.
Thank you, John, for the questions. I believe, Dick, do you have a question as well?
Yes, Coach, I got a question for both of you. Dick Cox from Cox Sports Broadcasting and Lindy Sports down in Spartanburg. There, Coach, can you just talk about how tough this league is? It came down last year that you've got 2 or 3-way ties and things like that, and there are no easy games in this league, and just the competition you have to go up against night in, night out.
Yeah, it's no fun, actually, to answer your point, to answer your question. No, it's like I said before, it's a testament to the coaches in this league. It's an extraordinarily well-coached league, extraordinarily well-played league. There's really good players in our league. And so, it's different. I mean, it's different than when we left to go to Western Carolina. We came back. I think the league has changed over the years that KT's been here. I think he was eloquent in speaking about that earlier on today as well. And so it's you look at preseason things and whatever else, and I don't know how much preseason matters, but where the league ranks, and it just keeps getting better and better. And so we understand that, and we understand the challenge that comes with that. And certainly, I think the easy thing to do sometimes in sports is to win a championship every now and again. The hard thing to do is to maintain success over time. At Winthrop, we've been able to do that a lot over the last 25 years. And as that tide continues to rise, you better make sure you're rising with it. And so, we feel comfortable with our expectations. We feel comfortable about making sure that we still stay where we've always been in this league traditionally, competing for a championship every year. And when you get to sit next to guys like this, you feel comfortable doing that again this year. And so it's a very good, very well coached league, and we're feel fortunate and fun to be part of it. But make no mistake about it, our challenge and our charge every year is to hang the banner. We wouldn't have it any other way.
And this one's for Kelton right here. I know you've heard Coach Prosser say this over and over again about how every possession counts. And as a former coach, I used to say that too. But it seems like you get in the last 8 minutes of these league games, and it comes down to every possession really matters when you hit that stretch mark. Can you talk a little bit about that? Do you feel pressure as a player during that time, or do you love hitting crunch time like that?
Me personally, I love it. I got a love-hate relationship with it. Let me go that way. You hate to be in that situation. You know, you obviously want to be up by more than that, but it's it's a lot of fun that comes along with it too as well. Pressure, I say a little, but more so it's just it gets your blood flowing a lot more. You get more excited and pumped up and ready to go in them last 8 minutes, especially if it's a close game. So I say more so exciting than pressure. And yeah.
It's less pressure for us because we just try to throw the ball to number 4. And typically when that happens, good things typically happen for us.
Thanks for the question, Dick. So we have about 4 more minutes. If there are any more questions, and I'll give it like 5 seconds, see if anyone raises their hand. But if not, Coach, you mentioned it was the last rodeo for Kelton. Just tell us a little bit about, what he means to the team and what do you have planned for him this year?
Yeah, I think my plan is to stay out of his way. Let him do what he does and what he's always done. And I think your point earlier about the efficiency that he's had as a Division I basketball player has been remarkable. And not only in our program in this league, but also where he stands in the country. And I think 6th in the country 2 years ago in field percentage. Last year, I think would have been 9th, right ahead of a guy named Zach Eady, who had a decent year. Had he, I think the threshold was 5 makes the game, and KT was like 4.99999 because he shot a million free throws, which he's also elite at doing too, drawing fouls and can do the free throw line. So, I think making sure that we continue to work to help him expand his game, like he's worked really hard on to, for this year and moving forward in his basketball career, and then to also help him, understand that opportunity, and he's elite, and he mentioned it, his motor is elite, his footwork is elite. We got to make sure he's not playing in such a crowded floor. He played in a very crowded floor last year, and we put him in situations he had to be a better version, if that's possible, of himself, because it was such a crowded floor last year, and we had to address some things to make sure that we have to keep people away from him, so he does have a little more space to operate. So we're going to try to do some different things to put he and all of our kids in a situation to be successful, maybe even more so than they've been in the past. And so we're anxious to be able to put that on display, and like I said, we had opportunity to have one scrimmage to this point. We look forward to having another opportunity to see somebody else soon, and tipping that thing off and seeing these guys in action with the big lights on.
Thanks, Coach. And Kelton, just really quick, we have about 2 more minutes left. Same question to you. What does it mean for you going into the last season?
I don't really know how to answer that question because this has been me for the last 4 years. Basketball, putting on my Winthrop jersey. So it's a lot of unknowns going into it just because it is my last year, but also excitement at the same time, and just excited to see how we do this year, and just excited to show our body of work that we done put in, and just the commitment that our guys have given to this game, and just being ready to show the Big South and everybody what we've done and how far we're willing to take this, and just how much work we put in. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much, Coach Kelton. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate you. We'll let you off to your next station now.